I was reading this comic book called Fear of Batman, and it was a Scarecrow related comic. And usually the Scarecrow will be using drugs to make people afraid, but in this one, he was taking away people's fear. And he blackmailed famous race car driver and this and that, and took away their fear, and told them that he would only give them the cure if they gave him X amount of money. That's the blackmail part. Anyways, though, so you have the opposite of what the Scarecrow usually does. Instead of instilling fear, he's taking away fear. Normally, you would see fear as a bad thing, but you've got to understand, it's all about balance. If you don't have enough fear, it's like the kid, they show the picture of a kid with a skateboard in a really huge hill, and it's like a really young kid. So sometimes if you don't have fear, it can be a bad thing too. And it's kind of interesting how life works like that. Sometimes you expect, you tighten your stomach muscles expecting to get hit in the stomach. And if that had happened, you would be braced for it. So it wouldn't be quite as bad because at least you're ready. But it's funny how life works, because as soon as you tighten your stomach muscles, you get kicked in the face. And, it's weird how, I don't know, I'm not going to say precognition by any means, but just bracing yourself for something. It's like the secret of the 10th rune of the Elder Futhark, Naulis. If you recognize the necessity beforehand, then you avoid the crisis that happens. And even if the crisis does happen, of course, if you're prepared, or you can work on the fly, you can use it to your advantage somewhat. And I don't mean in a uncouth way, because I'm all about honor and bravery and like our ancestors. But rather, I don't know, look at the people in Louisiana. A flood happens, but they don't just leave their neighbors stranded. They help them out. They've got people on wave runners or boats going back and saving people that are not prepared and didn't see it coming beforehand, even if people warned them. And, usually the most famous quotes you'll hear about fear, one is, fear is the mind killer. Because if you're afraid to try something new, obviously you'll never try it. If you're afraid to fail, failing is the greatest teacher. There's an awesome Star Wars video right now with that title. Fear is the greatest, failure is the greatest teacher. And it's true. Trust me, I've made plenty of mistakes. And the more you make, not that you should go try to make mistakes. Because if you can learn from someone else's mistakes, perhaps that's even better. But it's okay to fail as long as you are recognizing why you're failing and you learn something from it. Another great quote comes from H.P. Lovecraft, in that fear is the oldest emotion of mankind, and the fear of the unknown is the greatest fear, which ties back to Naulis and being prepared for the crisis at hand. I know we've been going through a couple of rough years. It could be a lot worse, though. It's not like Black Death. But I do feel bad for anyone affected. And notice how the light rays moving in the camera. Maybe it's just on my end, but it looks funny. I have a reflection off my bald dome there. And, I suppose that's why horror writing and scary movies are so popular, because people want to be afraid in a safe way. Yet it's funny, even so many scary movie fans I'll talk to won't watch a scary movie by themselves, which I find mighty interesting. I'm trying to find the sweet spot for my YouTube videos, because I notice people will tend to watch about a minute and a half, which either means I'm boring or I'm making too long of videos, which I'm also starting to post on TikTok. So perhaps that's where I'll shorten the videos to make a short, sweet one. But I don't know. I'm trying to find out what people like. If you want to comment and let me know if you watch the video, it would be fine. Or talk to me some other way. Anyways, I just thought it was interesting to see someone like the Scarecrow, who's always known for scaring people, thus the name, and for him to use the opposite and for it still to be totally frightening to take away your fear. Sometimes something on a, the opposite end of the spectrum can still be just as frightening. So you think, oh, fear is bad. It's not that easy, though. You've got to look deeper. You've got to think about it, from a different point of view, perspective. It's all about perspective and opposites and balance. If you read William Blake's work, he talks about attraction and repulsion. And it's very interesting. And my cat's meowing at me, so I guess it's time to go. But I hope you enjoy, and have a good day. Stay safe from all the crazy nonsense going on. Good luck, folks.